Alrighty, all you lovely peoples, I am the Bibby, and this is the Poet Warriors, and today you're clicking on my video for another little capsule review on a little film. Today I would like to talk about something a little bit more artistic. I feel like I've been doing recently a lot of very nothing modern day pieces, and my lovely, lovely, beautifully, erotically, arousingly sexy business partner, the Bays. He's been getting into the nitty-gritty with like his top 10 films and stuff, and top 10 film performances, which maybe I'll do my own to get like a little other take on there. But he's been overshowing me right now with like these artistic movies, and I've been doing all of this new age bullshit. So just to show that I am actually well-versed in other things, maybe, I suppose is the way to describe it, I would like to talk about this movie right here. Lifeboat. Lifeboat, I'm a big, when it comes to like artistic films, I think our little buddy Alfred Hitchcock is way up there. I'm a really big fan of his work. I love what he does with, I mean, given the fact that his films are in black and white, and I think they should be, even if, you know, he was still making films today, his films should still be in black and white, because the things that he does with like the black and the white, with the color and the shadings and the dark, like I guess his work would be considered, if it was color, very noir. In some regards, I love noir movies. I say having an aneurysm, Jesus. But I think Helga is trying to get out. Psst, hey, yo. Psst. Look at this thing right there. Look at this thing. Helga! Psst. Thank you. She'd be the first one to get kicked off the lifeboat. So anyway, Lifeboat. Alfred Hitchcock. She's doing it again. I'll let her be. Kids be kids, right? Alfred Hitchcock, Lifeboat. This film is one of my favorite Hitchcock films. It is a beautiful piece, a very, very tactile piece, and I'll get into that in a minute. A very, very what's the word, like physical experience inducing. It's very, very physically inflicting to the viewer, which I like. We'll get into all of that. So this piece takes place in what is it, World War I? World War II? One of the two? I think World War I. It sets place basically, so there's all these survivors of this shipwreck that gets blown up by a German U-boat, which also subsequently gets blown up like on the way down with the other one, with you know, the Americans' ship. There are 8 or 9, 10 survivors on this lifeboat, which survive the wreckage. One of them being the captain of the German U-boat who sunk their ship and killed their friends, their loved ones, their comrades in arms. It's a very, very interesting movie. And it's basically a survival story of them trying to get out of this situation, surviving with the captain of the ship that sunk them and killed their friends. There's that combative hostility there. There's that over nice friendship from some of the characters there, you know, trying to forgive him and whatnot. Anyway, very, very cool movie. Very diverse cast in it, which is all acted beautifully. I mean, in all of these old age films to us folks that are my age, like all the acting is so specific and it's all very, very nice and well done. Nobody, at least that I note, is in it, but they're all brilliant. They're all fabulous. I do recognize a couple of them, but I mean, I don't know their names. I've just seen them in some other old-timey movies. There's gonna be that group of people watching this who are like, old-timey? What do you mean old-timey? Old-timey. So, yeah, very, very tactile movie. It's a very small set. it takes place, the whole film takes place on this lifeboat, which at some point seems bigger and smaller, and like it grows, and then there's like a second story. It's very odd, but it gives you that sense of claustrophobic when you're watching it, which is part one of that kind of that infliction that it gives to you. Throughout this film, Hitchcock tries to provoke this unsettling pit in your stomach, which kind of adds to the survival aspect, right? The life and death is done very well in this film. It gives you that sense of claustrophobia. The camera, 50% of the film is going with the waves. So the film isn't static, it's always moving. It's got these long drawn out scenes where you just see the camera kind of do this. And some people might like that, some people might hate it, but I think that's kind of the point, right? Like, it adds to that level of unease. You start to feel a little bit motion sick at times, maybe. Might be a little bit too much. It doesn't happen, like, sometimes in the movie, it's stationary. It's you're looking at a character in these close-up settings, and when it zooms out into these, like, long, more drawn-out, behavioral scenes, there's a lot of behavior going on, which I like. We love those silent behavior scenes. They kind of do this with the camera, which is a beautiful choice. Adds to that affliction to the audience, to the viewers, which is brilliant. And it happens at the right times. It's never out of place. Super tactile in an audio sense. You've got the waves crashing. You've got the waves crashing on the boat. You've got that hard, like thumpy wooden smacking noise at times. You've got the wind and the rain, and then the waves coming on the actors, and it's all just positioned and placed so well, and at the right time. And then we've got the as I said, the beautiful use of light and dark that Hitchcock, I think, does very, very well, which I'm actually going to do a snack about in a little bit after filming this one, so look forward to that. But I mean, Hitchcock does what Hitchcock does best. He's using the light. There's this beautiful, beautiful scene where there's kind of a change in tide, not physically, but I mean, metaphorically, between, the German who's on board kind of becoming a little bit more sinister, where the sail of this boat blocks out the sun and he's completely dark for a minute, and you just kind of see him for a second, and then like kind of think and come to terms with it, and then it goes back to the light. It's beautifully done. It's one of those timeless pieces, I think. And for me, like I said, I mean, it's one of my favorite movies from Hitchcock, absolutely. I would definitely say it's one of my favorite movies. I think it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I'm a sucker for a good war movie, and this one's kind of not your typical war guns violence kind of thing. It's more of the emotional, the relationship side of war. They're talking about their loved ones back home, some of the people who don't make it going crazy and talking to their loved ones. There's this one character who gets super thirsty, starts to drink seawater, goes mad, and he's like having physical conversations with his wife back home, or his girlfriend back home, where he's having imaginary drinks with her, and there's all of these kind of it's raw. The characters expose themselves completely throughout the film in a natural way as they become closer and closer to death in this survival situation, with this growing tension and animosity between all of them, split in views, split of power. There's definitely a power struggle. And like I said, super diverse cast, which adds to all of that. There's the wealthy on there, there's the soldiers, there's a writer on there, there's the German on there, which, it just adds an amazing little twist. Doctor, men, women, white, African American. It's a very diverse group that's on this little lifeboat. Which is, it's just like an hour and a half of them on this lifeboat dealing with these struggles. Long drawn out tactile scenes of behavior. Very emotionally and physically inflicting to the viewer. And that's Hitchcock being Hitchcock, right? If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend going to go and watch it. Lifeboat. Check it out.
Tasty.